Do 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 do. It's tight quarters. It's tight. It's tight. Woo! It's tight. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, fellow shenaniganders, I think it's time for another game room update. It's probably been about a year since I've done one, and a few things have changed. Including the stairs, which my mother painted when I let her babysit the house for a while. Could never have enough toilet paper. So yeah, lineup has changed. I'd have to look at my own video from last time to see exactly what has changed. I like to shuffle things around. Always like to be working on something. But this is the rare occasion that my games room is in a feng shui order, because I am running a pinball tournament in a few hours. So everything is set up, everything is feng shui, and in theory it all should be working. There's no games that are not in the tournament lineup. So this is the kind of overall main games room view here. It's I don't have everything turned on all that often, so it's kind of nice to see. And then this back room is usually a disaster. So got all the tournament software stuff set up, some prizes, 50-50 draw. But let's go over each machine a little bit briefly, talk about what's in the collection and what's new. And well, we got like a late 70s Nugent here. I've done videos on a lot of these machines, so if you want to search my channel, you can just type in like Nugent. There's a playlist and you can see me kind of go through the process of bringing this back to life. This is clutch. I've got special set for 100,000 points rather than a free game. So if you wail on these targets a few times in light special, then you can just keep nailing that for 100,000 a pop. It's kind of like stars, you know. And this Nugent actually runs in the same exact software as Electronomo. So I learned that as I was shopping this bad boy up. But Nugent, it's first time in a tournament in London, Ontario. This is the first IFPA event in London since pre-COVID. So we're talking about 2.5 years. So this is the first event that we've had, and I'm looking forward to it. So Pinball Magic, it's a rare Capcom game from I think 1997. They only made 1,200 of them, and it's a DMD game, which I installed color, which is amazing on this game. I love color DMD in this game. This is, I think, one of the few games that didn't get the full LED treatment, and that's mainly because all the lights, every single lamp in this game is controlled. It's really dark right now because it's here. See how they're all fading, getting brighter and brighter, and then they get darker and darker. Every single lamp is controlled. So the LEDs don't like to fade in and out very well. They just kind of turn on and off. I wonder, should I put on the flash? Will that help? So in order to keep that cool incandescent effect, I didn't swap to LEDs. In hindsight or foresight, one could install an LED OCD board, and that would actually, in theory, solve that problem. Anyway, this machine took like the better part of a year on and off to get going. It needed a lot, and these Capcom games are just built differently, very built like a tank. The last issue I ever had with this machine was the stage doors. The optos were being flaky, so I rebuilt the whole wiring harness from scratch, and that was the final piece of the puzzle. Well, sure enough, just last week, the optos for the stage doors started acting up again. So I took it all apart and reflowed the optos, and so far so good. Otherwise, those doors would start opening up right now because they would think there's a ball in there, which there's not. But so far so good. So hopefully this survives the tournament. Okay, here is another playlist I created. My whitewater. So if you want to see me restore this thing from start to finish, I probably took about 25 videos on this guy. And tore it right apart, put it back together again, and this turned out so nice. I don't really have space for toppers, so I've got the topper, it's just I don't have the height. But again, color DMD, new mountains, the Skull Mountain mod, new green targets, mantis protectors, boulders, translucent rubbers throughout, apron cards, all the fun stuff. Classic game. Everybody loves whitewater. Oh, and you know what I did? Is when I was restoring this, I actually changed the kicker from the Lost Mine, the coil, to a less powerful coil, so it wasn't kicking out into the metal rail, making it all sporadic. But I found that was too controllable, so just last week, to make this a little bit more difficult, I put it back to the original coil, so it's a little less controllable and less of a long playing game. We don't want games to be playing forever. We want to, you know, get in and out of here within 4 or 5 hours at most, hopefully 4, but that is one modification I did just recently. I guess it's not really a mod when you're putting it back original, but you know what I mean. Lord of the Rings, I have another playlist on this. It's called Lord of the Dust. Google that, and you'll see what kind of condition this was in when I picked it up. But the dust preserved this bad boy nicely, and it turned out real well. Another highly popular machine. Color DMD, because it's friggin' awesome. I went with the warm white LEDs on this. You can see there's the natural white, and here's the warm white. This has more of like a yellowy golden glow, which matches the theme much better. So let's hit the flipper button. I should do that on every machine, see if we can get attract sounds. There we go. What about Pinball Magic? No? Capcom, you didn't do that? How dare you? Yeah, Lord of the Rings. I actually changed some settings to make it a little more difficult software-wise. And I also removed the rubbers on the out lanes. If this game plays too long, which it typically does, then I will pull it from the lineup. And then we got another classic, Dracula. You can see that the magnet is disabled because my buddy Kevin broke my machine, man. Kevin, how dare you? No color DMD on this one. But, so yeah, I was acting up and I determined that there's a long opto beam that tracks across the whole playfield. So I determined that that wasn't working. But I haven't determined for sure if it's the opto board underneath or the optos themselves, although I did replace the left opto and I confirmed that the right one was working, the transmitter opto. If you hold like a camera up to the opto and it will show like whether it's lit or not. It's a neat little trick, and it was lit, so that one was good. Replaced the other one with a new old stock one, still didn't work. So, but it turns out that in several competitions, lots of tournaments, leagues, people disable the magnet anyway, just so there's no shenanigans going on with the mist ball traveling across. It just makes it a more reliable. So I didn't actually try and diagnose the opto board yet, but I shall do that. Okay, so I got, you know, miscellaneous crap all over the place. The walls, the rafters, the ceilings, the beams. Everywhere you look, there's pretty much something cool, pinball related. And including this cool Creature from the Black Lagoon sign my buddy made. This cool art piece my buddy Kevin made. This was my buddy Kyle. And Mark and City, who made the Nightmare Before Christmas homebrew. This is for you, buddy. It's hiding right there just for now. And this guy came from my Frankenstein. A couple London, Ontario Pinball League mementos and some trophies, more creature action. A safe cracker token. I found that with a machine, I believe. Some miscellaneous stuff. Orbital Albert. I won this from your Pinball Nerds podcast, this record here. So I still got that. Some more. Those are mostly like local trophies, just the London, Ontario Pinball League. I don't have any like high-end big tournament wins really. Anyway, moving along. Let's go to Fishtails here. I don't know if I recorded this one or not. I forget. But I did tear this one completely apart, put it back together again, and it really turned out nice. I love the green flipper rubbers. The playfield is usually worn in this area, but this is not. It's a real nice example. Colored Cliffy posts and fully LED'd. Oh yeah, my monster fish mod. He's awesome. His eyes light up when the monster fish is... It's tied into the jackpot insert, I believe. I just got a message from Robert Gagno. I think his birthday was just recently. And mine is coming up tomorrow. That's kind of the reason for this tournament. A birthday and charity event. I was just watching Robert. He's at the Northwest Pinball Championships. I've been kind of watching that stream, the replay today. But we'll see what he's saying. I'll wish him some good luck, fellow Canadian. And I also saw Eden Stam over there teching. So I don't know if you're playing too or not, Eden. I only been watching a bit of the replay, but good luck if you do. And good tech if you don't. All right, Funhouse. This is a little bit before I started recording on my YouTubes, I believe. I think I have a little bit of stuff recorded on this, but not the full restoration. I guess I should not call them restorations. I should call them shop jobs, refurbishments, because a true restoration is like new playfield, new cabinet art, cabinet decals, you know, kind of the works. I would do low-end restorations here at Pinball Shenanigans. So this is a Funhouse. It really turned out well. It's in nice shape all in all. I do have the Cliffies for the scoops, but I just never installed them because really I like how the machine plays without Cliffies for the most part, for most machines. This was like a new old stock trap door. That was lucky to find. Actually, no, it was the new ramp flap and new hinge. I found the last hinge in existence and used the rest original. And I completely tore apart Rudy, put him back together again. He had several issues because he's got so many moving parts. His eyes go up and down, no, left and right. His eyelids go up and down. His mouth goes up and down. And then I had a real fun soundboard issue on this machine where everything was playing in slow motion and it sounded friggin' awesome. I shouldn't have fixed it because it was really cool. And it made the Funhouse even extra creepier. I do have a video of it though, so check it out. It's called like Funhouse Creepy something or other. Anyway, it's actually pretty awesome. Hey, and we got to hit the tracked button here. What? Fishtails, you gave me nothing? What about Rudy? No. Fishtails, too early, I guess. Okay, so what else we got? This is just stuff that I've shopped up that's ready to go to my buddy's arcade that's almost finished, Kevin. Got a T3, Space Invaders, and Genie. Those guys are all ready to go. I did playlists on all of those as well. They weren't necessarily very extensive, but they're good to go. Anyway, Whirlwind. This was an extensive one. This, I had to literally rebuild every single mech. We're talking 6 pop bumpers, 3 flippers, 2 slingshots, drop targets, the 2 sets of drop targets, the 3 bank there and the 1 bank there. The saucer kick out, like everything, because someone decided to get a little silly with the WD-40, so every single mech was sticky and gross. But Whirlwind, awesome game. Pat Lawler, I love the custom apron cards. This one turned out well, and it plays well. They all do. Was there any other issues I had to fix that I'm missing? No. Newest game in the lineup, Mandalorian. Got this from fellow shenanigander Julie Dorsers. I changed the ball save to 5 seconds, which is generous because most tournaments would have it turned right off. But I have no idea how long this is going to play. It's fairly outlaney, so I haven't even removed the rubbers on the outlanes yet. But yeah, this is the Pro. Doesn't have the moving upper play field. Let's see if we can attract.
Well, I did disintegrate a few of them.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, Johnny Mnemonic has been in the collection for like 7 years or something. It's one of the longest standing games in my collection. Color DMD. And I bought this one like mostly working. Like it was shopped by my buddy Dan Beeson. And I never had to tear this one apart and put it back together again. Although I did tear it apart for a bunch of other reasons, just to do a little miscellaneous stuff here and miscellaneous stuff there. I did have to take apart this whole hand mech and rebuild it, which was like a good 4 hours of learning and fixing. But knock on wood or glass, that hand mech has been pretty damn reliable. Except for a broken wire here and there for the time I've had this machine. So there's a credit dot here, error message, basically because I don't have the ball and hand switch installed because you don't need it. I can install it just to get rid of the coin, the credit dot, but it doesn't change anything whatsoever, so I don't even know why it is there. I have heard stories of operators removing it just because it caused more trouble than it's worth. Got my dolphin keychain. Anyway, play the game, don't watch the movie. This is Night Moves 1980 Gottlieb System 80. And don't let the Fireball back box fool you. That is just a lamp with some whitewater leftover mountains and my shroud for my Whirlwind, which won't fit comfortably. But this is actually probably one of the best cocktail games by Gottlieb. Has a multi-ball, it's all LED, and I bought this one pretty much all done. I didn't have to do much to this. This has also been around for maybe 7 years too. It's one of the longest standing games in the collection. And then of course I've got all kinds of crap everywhere. Some old Papa tokens, Headbangers Club. If you bang your head on this pipe, you will get your name on the board. There's Jay the neighbor. He's bonked a few times. He's surprisingly, for the amount of times he's been here, which is like 1 million, he's only bonked his head like 6 times. That's very impressive because he's like 6'2" or whatever he is. My Papa hardware, my bucket list. 4th place in the D division. That was awesome. And also I won this dollar game starter kit from This Flippin' Podcast at Pinburg. I don't think it was the same year, but maybe it was. Oh, and Yegpin Perfect Round. That's some of my favorite stuff there. This is an old cabinet from Kevin's Strange Science, which he cut and T-molded and turned into awesome art. Okay, so let's venture into the back room, wrap up the tour here. The latest game in the collection that I guess the last thing I restored or refurbished is this Bally Mystic. So it has the least amount of plays of anything because I only got it working pretty recently. Where's my displays? Ruh-roh. Why don't I have displays? The CPU didn't boot up. Is that true? Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to do some last minute teching here. Oh, that's weird. Okay, not sure what's going on there. But I do have the original CPU in this. Maybe I'll have to pop in an Alltech CPU. Maybe I'll get one ready to go just in case and have it set and ready to go. Okay, yeah, so Mystic, I believe that's 1980, Bally. Pretty cool game. You gotta like play tic-tac-toe with all the pyramids or eyeballs. Get the captive ball. That's worth some points. Again, I have it set for points for extra ball and special. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, so there's a playlist on this game as well. Lots of electronic McFudgery going on this machine that I managed to figure out, but yeah, that was a bit of a fun roller coaster ride. And then we've got, I believe this is also 1980, Bally Xenon. This one turned out pretty nice considering the playfield had lots of wear on it. And someone, like, instead of using like a clear coat, they kind of used like a stain, like a yellow stain. So I had to clean up all that and then touch up half her face and all kinds of other stuff. So put a lot of lipstick on this. Turned out much better than I thought. Orange pop bumper skirts. Translucent flipper, like silicone rubbers, all LED'd. And then we got the infinity back box with a very nice back glass. Oh, and I have it one player at a time, because if you tilt with a ball in the saucer, it kicks it out, and then sometimes both balls end up in the shooter lane. And it turns out that's the exact same behavior on someone else's Xenon, so that might just be a Xenon thing. And then this is a cool game, Gottlieb, System 80. You don't see these too often. Tag Team. I've had this one for quite a while because it's actually a pretty awesome game. Really cool rule set. It's got a multi-ball. When you get multi-ball, all the LEDs turn red. One good way to get points is light the spinner. There's like some other Gottliebs of the same era, and then just destroy the spinner. It doesn't stay lit for that long. Ice Fever is kind of similar, except the spinner kind of stays on for until you hit a lane that is not lit, one of the in lanes. Anyway, this is a fun game. But yeah, that's basically the lineup. I'll have to check out Game Room Tour update of my own video to see what has all changed, what was here before and what has gone. But yeah, so I got a couple hours. Hey, look at this. Displays went out again. Uh-oh, okay. So I'm gonna do some last minute teching, throw in a new Alltech CPU. That's, I'm glad I figured that out. But there it is. That's the latest and greatest in the arcade. So thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one. Alright, it's hard to see, but the action is going on here.
Okay, I was third, right? So
yep.
That's it for me.
That's it for McGoffey.
Player 4?
Do. It's tight quarters, it's tight. It's tight. Woo! It's tight. Well, I just got to do a tour of the action. Don't worry, we're not going to film Larry. He doesn't want to be there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yay! Look at that. I didn't know if I was allowed to film you. Immigration and all that. Hello, boys and girls. Yo, eating on Xenon. But yeah, it's going good so far. I only broke, only Pinball Magic broke so far, and Dracula.
Yeah, it broke when I was
What am I? Alright, here's our Nugent game. Alright, I take a second. Not too horrible. Alright, tournament's still going. Round 6. So I do a quick little update of the action. For fun.
Hi, YouTube.
Hey, Dutch. YouTube says hi.
You seen enough of me yet?
Yep. Change the channel. You're lowering my ratings, man.
This is just silly fun.
Hey, home field advantage. Jeff owns this game. He needs some points though. Joe. Yeah, so
And I like to.
it's really tight quarters. It's tough to smush into everybody's personal space. But we got 22 people crammed in here, but I'm being called. Uh-oh. Last round has begun. Top 8 to make the playoffs, the finals. Jay with his London, Ontario Pinball League shirt, playing some Johnny. I'm playing Johnny right now. Got a couple balls locked, ready to get some multi-ball. More action in the back here. Check this out after 8 rounds. I mean, I got home field advantage, so, you know. Oh yeah. Alright, so off to the playoffs after this game. Okay, I gotta be quick. I'm in the middle of the finals right now. It's Teolis and myself. I won the first game on Nugent. It's best of 3. Playing some Whitewater now. And if it goes to game 3, it'll be on Lord of the Rings. So that's what's going on. All right, it's late. The tournament ran like 5.5 hours. And this is the quickest update. We played Nugent. I won. Me and Teolis, that is, for the final game of the night. Well, final set. And then he took me to Whitewater, where he won. Then the final game was on Lord of the Rings. And he had 30 million. Bowl 3, I was starting to kind of get some headway. Got myself a multi-ball golem, and I was at 10 million, starting to get some shit together. And then I tilted, so that was the end. So Teolis takes it down, I take second place. It was a good tournament all in all. Not too much stuff broke on me, so that is how that went, and I'm happy with that. It was a good event overall. So them's the results. Here's a couple photos for you. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.